let's get back into this. We are presenting the evidence here to really possible another person knew about the plan. So yeah, I think we're supposed to present the letter here. I guess we'll find out. This crime was actually planned over a year ago. Morgan Fay authored the plan for her daughter's future. These instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time Little Pearls found these instructions, they had already been unsealed. Oh. Interesting. Unsealed?
Well, remember? It's what we were talking about. Remember someone had already opened it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls ever found them. That's how he knew the crime was to take place at the Inner Temple.
And you still insist? Crafty killer and handsome killer is me.
You bet I do.
But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
That's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden.
If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out. Yes, and when was that? During a visit.
A visit?
Morgan Fay told her daughter Pearl about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden. Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center? Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot. Order. Mr. Godot, you're under fire again. This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder.
Humans are afraid of the dark. Yet, at the same time, fascinated and touched by it. Maybe that's why humans drink the darkness. That is coffee.
I don't think so.
I'm sorry for always asking, but what does that mean?
There's a reason for everything. According to the killer, in this case, eavesdropped. On a conversation during a jail visit, where he learned a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur.
Yeah, he waited there for a year. He only came out for some reason to be a prosecutor in a trial.
Yep.
And he ultimately took a person's life. All he did. Oh, and he did all of that just to protect his witness.
That's right.
You're accusing me of this crime. I have to ask you, why? This girl is nothing but a stranger. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her. I am what you see. I am certainly not the type to rescue so stress.
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect this witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural. However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick? We're lovers.
Maya. Cool, I guess.
I happen to be a 19-year-old in college.
You have to go to college. Just because you're college age doesn't mean you're a college student. You have to go to college. I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh?
Hey, Trey. I'm all ears. Let's hear.
Very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you. What's this? There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. Would obviously be Mia. A very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister.
Mia Fey.
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney. Wait a second here. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney? With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
Well, shit. The last time someone called me by that name, I still had eyes.
Yeah.
Over 6 years.
Diego Armando. That name rings a bell. It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked.
It's my
My
fault.
See, I was gonna take it because this is when she was the
Oh yeah,
player
technically,
character.
yeah.
But,
All right.
like,
Yeah.
I don't think it matters that much, but
Nah, you take it.
for consistency's sake, I thought it was more interesting this way. It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself.
Can't cry yet.
That's right, he shattered the glass.
Yeah. And it went into his eyes, and that's what fucked his eyesight up.
Oh, that would be ridiculous.
The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. I was moved. The way she put all her faith in clients, that pure, sweet heart of hers. That's why I could never forgive them. Hawthorne. And I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria.
Ah, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned.
Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison to my coffee.
Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press. But you weren't dead at all.
No official reports ever actually called it. It was just in a deep, deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down. My life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. That woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight. All of my hair turned white due to the damage it caused.
That's terrible.
Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever gained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poison. Morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a doctor's cup of coffee.
5 years? You were asleep for 5 years?
Worst possible news was waiting. AFA was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. And I loved had been woman I loathed has been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathed?
And who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne.
Like, that's why I keep drinking more coffee, because I hope one of these is poisoned.
Yeah.
Good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me. I woke up.
And that's so sad.
Someone like me. Someone who had slept away their mistakes. There were only 2 reasons left. It was for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
The first was you, Trey. You just pissed me off.
Huh? Me?
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Faye never died, much less the way she did. The one who was there to protect her, you failed. But you let her die. It was all your fault.
It wasn't like that.
I wanted to see for myself what kind of man you.
So that's why you became a prosecutor.
My other reason. He goes by the name of Maya Fett.
Huh? You mean me?
You. Only way I could make up for the sin of not saving me. A year ago, when the Crane Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Faye was planning something. Whatever her evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. Well, as a prosecutor, put me in the perfect position to do something about it.
That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
At the time, destroying me. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. Almost how with the plan. I thought if I could do that.
Yo. Oh, that's funny. Joe ignores Red, White, and blaming Phoenix for Mia's death. Yeah, that's a really funny coincidence there.
I could keep that girl caught up in.
That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both accomplices.
Accomplices?
Iris of Hazakura Temple, and Steve Bay.
Oh.
I especially needed help with Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Faye.
But okay, so I guess in this case it makes sense because Misty, if she already knew the plan, she wouldn't want Pearl to take over or to be channeling Dahlia. You know, she'd
Yeah.
rather, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. She channeled Dahlia purely so Pearl couldn't.
Which, you see, that makes more sense. You know,
Yeah.
how did you contact my mother? They've been missing for almost 20 years.
Officially, yes.
What do you mean officially?
Well, yeah, I mean, she was an established children's author under a new name. She was around.
You heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the Maiden family and the government.
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Terrain had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty still wielding influence. Police had been keeping an eye on it all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking.
She was always...
That's why I knew she would do anything to protect me, even try to kill you.
Yeah.
If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff.
Her staff, the one with the sword in it.
The plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. That's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Faye if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price.
Mother?
That night of the cry, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean Pearls, don't you?
You have to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Hawthorne.
I feel like there were other ways to stop her. Because you already know the plan. Why don't you do other things to stop her from doing it? You know?
Yeah, I mean, probably.
I don't know. I feel like there was other ways they could have gone about it too.
Now, the question is, so the thing is, from our perspective, sure. But I guess from their perspective, maybe if they don't know Pearl, they don't know Pearl. So it's possible that maybe they're not thinking of it in that sense.
Yes, but she is a, child,
Yeah.
very young child. You know.
Oh, well, okay. Well, they are. Okay, hold on. Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight? Well, if you like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. So yeah, that's what they're trying to do right now. I guess they are trying to keep Pearl
Hmm.
from just doing stuff.
Mhm.
Oh, to prevent her from playing her part in this plan.
Yeah, I guess I
Right.
spoke too soon.
Yeah, there you go.
But she never showed up.
So yeah, they tried
Mm,
to just keep her away from the whole thing, but then she went out and did her own thing in secret, and they were like, okay, we have to. I guess that was like the fallback plan.
Yeah.
okay. She was weird and followed me to the inner temple.
That was the thing we were most afraid of. That's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her body.
What? What do you mean? If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
As Master of Karain, Misty Faye's power was supreme. That's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye able to.
I guess one other thing that she could have done is if, let's say, they did have a fallback plan of, oh, I have to channel Dahlia, then I guess she could have like chained herself or done something to like restrain herself from like
Yeah.
doing anything. But I guess maybe it's like it was kind of like split second, last thinking, last resort type of, type of action.
Yeah, maybe. What? Is this true?
The plan was to make sure no one was going to run away. That's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne.
No.
Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself.
Background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fey, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Cadeau.
Well, Trey, you're the real deal. Then finish this thing once and for all. Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own.
No, Nick, but please don't. Please don't tell him I did it.
Maya, I'm gonna actually save real quick. We're gonna make me do something soon. I just get that feeling.
I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Cadeau. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia and me too.
Maya, I know that.
Nick,
But even so, doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Miss Fey, your testimony, please. This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. Sure, you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
All right, young lady. Tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder? Okay?
Huh. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. Thought I asked for help, but just then, it was splattered with blood. It wasn't that, though. And she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out. The whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there's a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
These red lights, I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
Sorry. I saw them. And they disappeared all of a sudden.
Huh. Let's break trade. Even the best of theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? Looks like you still can't prove it.
Maya's telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me. Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness. Okay. 1, 2, 4, 6, okay. I'm gonna use this testimony to prove that Godot committed the murder. I really wish I didn't have to do it, but for some reason, I get the feeling that some part of Godot actually wants me to.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do this, because I feel like you want me to you want me to convict you now. Light shining in the dark. I don't think you could make a mistake about that.
Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Godot's mask either.
I don't get the feeling she's covering for him anymore, but just after that, you turned towards the light and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember, after all. There's a person I couldn't identify in front of me.
Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly. Alright then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights? Pedestrian help. That blood. Was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood?
Think so. Probably. Just at that moment. I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. Woman's voice.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with the murder weapon. Is that right? Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation.
Anyway, victim was stabbed by the murderer. Happened after.
Okay. Struck back. How do you know that?
Well, you're right. We didn't see it exactly. I could tell by the sound of their breathing and movement. And also, smell blood.
You've witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life. So then what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move. I just barely make out their shadow moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do.
Did you still see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think so. But
red lights went out. Okay. They went out.
Yeah, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
What could it mean? The red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of a fight.
Maybe the mask was damaged.
Or maybe it was knocked off.
Batteries
Or maybe this little red pinhead looking lights just stopped working. What could have really happened then? What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment when the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. Pretty sure. It was a man's voice.
What? So then the scream came from the killer? That's gotta be it.
I think Sally Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
And then the killer let out a scream of pain, huh?
I thought the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow. Yes.
Well, Mr. Wright, it seems to make sense to me. It sounds like a reasonable deduction, but I still kind of wonder.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, the contradiction is because she was stabbed from the back, so she wouldn't have turned around
Yeah.
to attack back. Plus, it's not the cane that's the murder weapon.
Yes, it is.
Right?
No,
Isn't there a separate knife?
No. The knife wasn't. So what we found out earlier in this section was that the cane actually was the murder weapon. Iris told us that when she had the body, she had to pull the cane out of the body and put it in the Shikishito. And then at the beginning of this trial, they said that they actually analyzed the blood on the knife and it wasn't her blood.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, this actually makes sense, because probably what happened is that she used the knife to stab Godot.
Okay.
Because whose blood was on the knife? Someone's blood had to be on it. And Maya didn't get stabbed.
Okay, so I guess I'm just flip-flopping.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that actually means that this sounds about right to me.
But I would say no, but still, because at least from that conversation, it seemed like they were saying that she turned around before she got stabbed.
No. That already happened before this. He stabbed her first, then she turned around. Because that part already happened.
Because she said she heard a scream and it was a man.
Yeah. She had already this is post her getting stabbed. Because she said that she heard Dahlia's soft scream when she saw the lights of her getting stabbed. I think that's exactly how it happened. Of course, after all, my deductions are almost certainly always correct. Alright, let's go on with the testimony. The only victim were fighting ferociously. What happened then? Obviously, I can always go back to that.
I don't know, there's still something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something, but I feel like there's something.
Let's see.
I mean, there's I think one.
Yeah, because see, I thought I'd ask for help. Just then, I was splattered with blood. That was when she got stabbed. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. suddenly the red lights went out, and then I heard the scream. So... let's see. After that, Dahlia collapsed, I lost consciousness. Okay. And what about the killer that stabbed Dahlia?
I'm sorry, I don't know. Really, it's true, Nick.
I believe you. On this point, I'm sure Maya isn't lying.
Years. That darkness has proven to be your wing.
Okay, so that was the last line.
Yeah, press the, was it? I think it was the second to last.
Yeah, it was. That's
Yeah.
what it
I
was.
just want to like read dialogue again.
Okay. Okay. At that moment when the red lights went out. Scream, was it Dahlia? And she says, no, I think it's a man. So then that scream came from the killer. I think Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it. The killer let out a scream of pain. Then the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess?
But then what about the dagger? When was that used? Because that's not being mentioned at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so yeah, maybe that's the contradiction.
Yeah, that's why I was so confused because like I remember the dagger was used. I guess I just thought that was the dagger.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Flip flop. But yeah, again, still.
Okay. Yeah.
The dagger was used.
Yeah, it was used. I missed that point where she mentioned the thing about the sword, her like taking the cane and then like him taking it back. That definitely didn't happen. I think she used the dagger to stab him. I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
Because also, if you think about it, Dahlia wouldn't have known that there's a sword in there. Because I think, I mean,
Yes.
at least my thought is like it was still a cane. You know, like it didn't like only Godot knew and Misty knew that it was a sword in there. Dahlia would not have known. So that's why.
That's true, but if Godot had already stabbed her with it, then the sword would have been out. That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct. Okay. Remember the testimony she just gave before the killer let out a scream? Maya said she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim. Okay, so it was inside the victim.
Okay. Damn. That's an interesting fight. Is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff.
So sure about that. Then don't keep us waiting any longer. Right?
Only one thing I can think of. It could have been used as the weapon here.
Dahlia Hawthorne had stabbed by the staff. What could she have used to strike back at the killer?
Then I guess I could do an investigation and match his blood.
Yeah. Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. This dagger was found at the crime scene stuck into a pine tree.
Yes, the detective. Dumbass Gumshoe, found that this morning and brought it to me. After saying it's not important.
Yeah. Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this. And she managed to wound him as well. He assumed it was just strawberry jam.
I was gonna say he thought it was a letter opener, and someone cut themselves accidentally.
Yeah.
Just because he let out a scream doesn't mean he was wounded. In fact, I never scream. Oh, wait. blood on the dagger could have been from the victim.
No, we already talked about this. Have you forgotten that the blood has already been tested? Because we learned it wasn't the victim's blood. It must be the killer's blood. The killer must have a wound somewhere on his body. So you're saying the blood on this dagger belongs to the killer? Exactly. DNA analysis of the blood would prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. And yes, Mr. Godot, it would prove that it's your blood.
Nice theory, true.
Order in the court. Is this the end? Have I done it? Even he won't be able to change the results of a scientific test.
Huh. Ask you something. Let's just say that it turned out that I was the killer. We think I would be stupid. It's like that.
What?
Just think for a second. Stagger was found this morning by detective and brought to me. Already blood on it, correct? So, I was the one who brought the stagger here to the courtroom. Yeah, but you wouldn't have seen the blood, right?
Well, I think he probably could see this blood. It's not, he just can't see red on white.
Okay.
The dagger's not white. But he specifically brought the bloody dagger to the courtroom as evidence. And his point is, why would he bother bringing the dagger at all if he didn't,
Maybe he wasn't aware that this is what he was stabbed with? I don't know. I have no clue.
Maybe. Yes, what does that prove?
Hell, I really heard killer. I could have washed the blade off, then planted another person's blood on it.
That can't be.
In any case, there's one thing I can guarantee. That blood, it doesn't a chance. Well, still, we can try to look to see
What?
like where your wound is.
Yeah. In any event, it seems to be established that the killer was wounded. All right, then, witness, continue your testimony.
Oh, wait a minute.
What's the problem?
I know I probably shouldn't say this, but there's a big contradiction in Nick's explanation.
Maya?
The stagger, you said it wounded the killer.
That's right.
But Sakuro had really been cut with a dagger. His clothes should be bloody or have a rip in them, right?
Maya? Maybe he just changed his clothes? That'd solve the contradiction pretty easily. It's been multiple
What?
days.
What are you talking about? It's not that simple at all. Everyone only has one pair of clothes in this game.
Yeah, really.
Remember back to the day of the murder? Everyone that was on the inner temple side got trapped there.
Ah, that's right. Once the bridge was fixed and the police headed for the inner temple,
Sakura was already there waiting for them. He never had a chance to change his clothes. Iris brought him a spare set of clothes? I don't know.
yeah, maybe. Order in the court. Well, maybe he brought a change of clothes with him. But no one could have predicted the lightning strike that shut down the bridge. Why would anyone have brought a change of clothes? Did the judge take smart pills during the last recess? Well, then maybe the killer took off his clothes before he committed the murder. That way he wouldn't get any blood on him.
It's impossible. Oh, how cold it gets up at late at night. Afterwards, with no clothes on, you'd be frozen solid. Oh. So that's all you've got. I knew you were tough enough to finish this. Right now, if Mia Fey were here, we would have closed the book on this case already.
Mia Fey were here.
So come on, Trey. Can you do it?
How about it, Mr. Wright? You've accused Mr. Godot of being the killer. But can you prove it? Have you got even one piece of evidence? The question isn't whether I can prove it or not. Fact is, I have to prove it. That's the only choice I have. I was taught that it's one of the rules of being a lawyer. I can prove it. I'm going to bring your magnificent vengeance to fruition, just as you want it.
That's good. Fighter till bitter end, Troy. Since there's just one piece of evidence that you can prove your point.
I'm gonna save it.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why me? Go for the unlimited penalty.
Yep. Good call. Are you trying to pressure me, Mr. Godot? Because it doesn't matter to me. I've got the one piece of evidence I need.
Give me a break. You've got nothing. Right.
So, what do I do at a time like this? It's simple. I've got to think outside the box and approach this from a different angle. Alright then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you've got. There's one thing I've demonstrated in the previous cross-examination. The killer was wounded. That was proven by the blood on the dagger. But we decided it was impossible for him to have hidden such a wound. If he had been cut by a dagger, there should have been a bloodstain on his clothing. There's one place. One place the killer could have hidden his wound. What did you say?
Hidden? It's not like he placed it somewhere else.
Well, I mean, there's actually a couple places, because, like, if you if he got wounded, well, his face would be a little obvious. Like, if he got a wound on his hands, that's not that hard to hide, right? Like, if he got stabbed in the hand. This is it, my last stand. I need to think about this from a different angle. I don't need to think about why there were no bloodstains on his clothing. I need to show how he hid the wound.
The final stop. Let's hear. God.
I'm going to save again because it's taking us to get there. Okay, here we go. You gonna read the line?
Oh, where's this location where you say the killer is?
Your attorney badge?
Ooh, you're probably right. That's interesting because
where's this location? No, but where's this location where you say the? I mean, so what? His profile?
This shroud industry, he seems to know me somehow. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Here we go. I got it. So, she knocked the mask off, right? Because we know the lights went out. The red lights went out. She knocked the mask off, and when she slashed him, it was in his face, behind where the mask would normally be. So the wound is hidden behind the mask.
That makes sense, because she said he yelled, so it must have been like, a sensitive spot where
Yeah.
so that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, unless we just got it wrong.
I don't. You're talking. I don't need to. What I do know is that you'll never be half the lawyer she was. Is that right? Right. Is that just now? Mia? It can't be. You're living on through him?
Even as we speak, you're still hiding the wound. It's beneath your mask. During the fight, the red lights given off by the killer suddenly disappeared. Seconds later, the killer let out a scream. That's right, your mask went flying off your face. Mr. Godot, would you mind removing your mask? You have a dagger wound under there somewhere. Then I'd say this whole case is solved. Very convincing, Waffles.
Is that better?
Just a little bit.
Just now. I saw her spear.
Hmm?
I never liked you. 6 years ago. You helped the woman who put me to sleep by hiding her bottle of poison. And while I was sleeping, you let me die. But you didn't care. You just kept on living your pathetic, happy-go-lucky life. You even had the nerve to follow in her footsteps as a lawyer. Could never forgive you. That's what
Mr. Godot.
But I was wrong. I knew it from the very beginning. It is the only person I could never find it. My heart to forgive. It's me.
You? Yourself?
I was the one who protected me. Me and no one else. I try to avert my eyes from the truth, escape from the harshness of. I just couldn't face Mia's death head on, so I ran. I hid behind a mask. I threw away my true name. I couldn't even deal as attorney, so I quit.
But you saved mine.
Yeah, that was my plan. Up until now, anyway.
What do you mean?
Listening. If I had really wanted to save you, There's one person that I should have gone talked to away.
Who would that be? Talking about Nick?
Well, that barely came through.
But I didn't do it.
There you go.
I tried to get the help of Iris and your mother. But I closed my eyes to the most important man involved.
Yeah, sometimes when doing this deep voice, like typically I'm like right next to the mic, you know?
Yeah.
Like so it does pick it up.
Yeah,
You know
that makes
why?
sense.
The real reason.
No, why?
I suppose I wasn't really interested in saving you at all. In fact, fuck you.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think I was just trying to salvage what's left of my own broken soul. I was trying to make up for the fact I couldn't save Mia. Nothing more.
That-
That's why I let you walk right into a situation that I knew was dangerous. Give me.
You're wrong. You put your life on the line to save Maya.
It's really for Maya's sake. Even I'm not really sure.
What do you mean by that?
That night, in the darkness of the garden, I saw her silhouette. A part of me must have known the truth. The truth that it wasn't really Dahlia Hawthorne standing there in front of me. It could have been Misty Faye, or even that little girl. I still picked up the blade. It was like I was dreaming. I'm not sure exactly what was going on in my mind at that point. Was I really motivated by the pure desire to protect Maya? Was it something else? Was it my hatred for a woman who had stolen everything from me 6 years earlier? Could it have been simply a desire for revenge? And now I don't know anything anymore. Like, I know she's dead, but I want to kill her again.
Yeah, really.
I did learn something today, however. I finally realized that I was there again. It's just chasing an illusion, a fantasy. A stupid fantasy of defeating you, the court. You what made me realize my folly. Never ran away from Nick's death. Instead, you picked up where she left off as a true defender of people. At one moment, I understood everything.
Mr. Goodell.
I think you already know, but if you don't, my name is Diego Armando.
Mr. Armando, I believe in you. I know you were trying to save me.
Thanks.
Your, your wound. It's bleeding.
Forget already. The color red doesn't exist. These must be my tears.
Tears?
Ever since I woke up from my coma, I bleed tears.
Yeah. I cry blood?
I cry blood. I guess
Yeah.
is the better way to put it. Yeah. I think I've been waiting for this very moment.
Mr. Armando,
You do well to remember this smile. Anytime a lawyer can cry, it's when it's all over.
Okay. So, I think I think there's actually quite a bit more left, like another like half hour to 40 minutes. So I think we actually need to wrap this up for now. So before we actually, yeah, so I think we're gonna wrap this up and we will finish this next time.